Good day everyone, this video is intended for our contemporary world class and it will tackle the opportunities and challenges brought by globalization to our local communities. This is for us to understand and know how the opportunities and challenges are faced and handled by our people. From our previous discussion and lesson, globalization is clearly defined as the continuing integration of all countries around the world. It ranges from the issues of trade and services, the moving capital, the growth and the poverty of the world population, and the easier transportation and communication around the world. It is a complex process that affects the lives and, of course, the increase of economic interdependence among the countries. So, what are the opportunities of globalization in our local communities? First is having a higher level of education. Globalization has affected the education itself. For example, in our present time today, we have COVID-19 and we are not allowed to go back in school for we need to follow the standard health protocols set by the government and the healthcare organization. And our only option is to have a distance learning for us to continue our study. Distance learning has tremendously grown and there is more use of internet and other forms of computer. This advancement in technologies allow people in different places to participate in the same program, such as student can be across far distance. Globalization also brings benefit when it comes to technology. The use of different media such as televisions, newspaper, magazines, and internet has helped the majority to spread data and information about the happenings around the world, though separated by time and space. Because there is a technological globalization, local communities can easily access to different information and news about the happenings around the world. For example, the typhoons, the earthquakes, and now the COVID-19. Lower and affordable cost of products is also one of the opportunities of globalization. This is a super beneficial to everybody, especially to the poorer people or countries, for this drives prices down and creates a variety of choices for consumers. On the other hand, globalization also brings challenges that people should be mindful of to avoid bigger problems to be faced. Globalization has affected our culture and economies and matter dealing with environmental distractions and availability of the limited resources. Globalization has had major implication on the environmental issues such as deforestation, the pollution, climate change, and biodiversity loss. The increase of economic activity leads to greater emission of the industrial pollutants and more on environmental degradation. These rampant environmental problems have become one of the major subjects because its effect does not only felt locally but globally. Due to the environmental problems brought by globalization, people from local communities have suffered from flooding, global warming, and many more. Lastly, lacking of medical workers, especially nurses in our local communities such as in hospital or healthcare centers is one of the major challenge brought by globalization. The Philippines is known for training nurses and exporting them in all the corners of the world. But now, the nation finds itself short-handed. Better pay and working conditions are the main reasons of Filipino nurses continue to live. Although these are an opportunity for them, Philippines on the other hand had suffered from these shortages. So, this is just few of the opportunities and challenges brought by globalization to our local communities. Regardless of its downside, globalization is here to stay and will improve more in the future.